like button, share and subscribe. Remember, eagles flies with eagles. All right now, hit the like button, share and subscribe. This is Arthur Oma, and remember, eagles fly with eagles. Let me explain to y'all what this says. Stormy business is on the UCC filing on the Secretary of State. Her Canvas Beauty product has been terminated. Her license has been taken from her. 2022. It's got termination through the Georgia Secretary of State. It got that Canvas Beauty brand termination. Can somebody that knows about this please come forth and explain this to me? Is she still using Canvas Beauty brand though? Let's see. Let me just go on through this, and then y'all please help me. Termination. So yeah, her license, I looked it up, the UCC, her license has been taken from the state of Alabama, but she still continue on to practice under that license. But this is the Better Bureau complaint, okay? I looked over here at the address. People are complaining that she's giving them the wrong address. This is the Commercial Drive address. She no longer is on Commercial Drive, you guys. And then that phone number is no longer. But here's the complaint. April 2023. I purchased some hair products for the amount of $78.97. I have not received anything from item. It's June now. It's going on July, y'all. I've tried to email, text, and call, and I can't get in touch with no one. So if you emailing and trying to call this is not correct. This address is not. In fact, this is the warehouse where they say she owed this from this warehouse over $2,000 some dollars. Well, that's what Internal Revenue say, and they give this address, allegedly. But anyway, I had tried to email, text, and call, and I can't get in touch with no one. I tried to contact them and left my new information regarding my address. I'm having a very hard time trying to contact the company. I don't feel they are being fair towards their customers. We send our hard-earned money, don't get nothing in return. Okay, here's another one from January, March 2023. All right. I placed an order for 2 of the body glaze. That's that new stuff, y'all. Item of these website on 3/19/2023. My order shows paid in full, but never received a tracking number for my transaction. I received several emails. There was a delay in shipping, and then an email that my order was being sent out 3/29/23 with a gift for the inconvenience. Still no tracking number. I sent 2 more emails to customer service emails to check the status of my order. I never received any reply or message back. Call the number, it says mailbox is full. After reading several reviews, I am now learning other people are having issues receiving their order. I just want my refund. So this is interesting. It says customers complaint. 212 total complaints in the last 3 years. And I don't know when they wrote it, but it says 84 complaints closed in the last 24 months. So I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, y'all. Look, complaints. People writing whole paragraphs, just on and on and on with nobody. Ooh, that would go all the way back to November, y'all. But anyway, Stormy Business filing under Secretary of State says that her license has been terminated for the state of Georgia. State of Alabama, correction. Is a Ponzi scheme. Okay, Ponzi scheme.
As said before, you've probably heard a lot about finance terms being thrown around. One of the most common things you've been hearing is the term Ponzi scheme. In this podcast, I'm going to explain how it works. Now, what is the Ponzi scheme? Well, it's an investment arrangement in which investors are promised low risk and high return. Here's the catch. These investments are fraudulent. They're not actual investments. They eventually collapse, and investors lose a lot of money. The origin of the term Ponzi scheme comes from Italian immigrant Charles Ponzi, who immigrated to the United States in the 1880s. He was a businessman who later duped a lot of people into buying postal reply coupons. When the scheme collapsed, Ponzi had carried out one of the largest frauds in U.S. history. So how does a Ponzi scheme work? Well, let's start with an example. Let's take an investment of 6 blocks, and each block is worth $1. So in total, that's an investment valued at $6. Anyway, the client goes to what he thinks is a qualified investor. In reality, this investor is a Ponzi schemer, and he says, I have $6. The investor says, if you give me your $6 and invest with me, I will give you $9 of return. So the naive client gives his $6 to the investor. When the client is ready for his money, the investor gives it back to him with the full $9 or the $3 of return that he promised. Satisfied client Green goes and tells his friends Orange, Red, and Blue about his wonderful investment experience. Mm-hmm. In turn, Orange, Red, and Blue give their investments to the Ponzi schemer.
So you see, now they got these satisfied customers. Some of these customers, they have to return to some of the customers so that they can recruit other people. So the money continues. Friends give other people money. In other words, they're giving the scammer the money for a product that they never received.
Sure enough, when Orange, Red, and Blue ask for their money back, Ponzi schemer is able to produce it with the high returns that he's promised. The problem with Ponzi schemes is despite the great return, it's looking behind the returns that actually matter. The truth about them, and this is a secret about Ponzi schemes, is they're not about investing. Rather, it's a distribution or a redistribution of money from new investors to old investors. And in this example, let's say there's an old investor, Investor Pink, and he had given Ponzi schemer $6. So he goes to Ponzi schemer and says, I want my return. What Ponzi schemer has actually done is that he's taken money from the newer investors, Red, Orange, and Blue, and he's used that money as part of the return. Now, in fact, this is a simple.
So now I need a new redistribution plan. I pretend like I'm going to give a party, say for instance, and then you got to email me. You got to email me to get on this list, right? And on this list, you have to buy some of my product. So in other words, you have to give money. This is the new money because she's asking for new money from these new clients, right? Because after all, the old clients are saying how satisfied they are. So this is how the redistribution of her money keep coming, and you don't get anything. So let's just keep it going.
Right example of how a Ponzi scheme works. In reality, it's much more complicated, and there's a lot more money being used. The key to understand is not that this example is simple, but that this reflects that the money is being shifted from newer investors to older investors. Thus, the cycle continues. Because satisfied clients are thrilled with their return, the Ponzi schemer earns a good reputation. And that's how Ponzi schemes are able to sustain themselves, by taking money from a much larger pool of newer investors and giving it to the smaller pool of old investors.
Oh, but what's happening when it dry out now? Things are drying out because the new investors are now getting told by the old investors, hey, look, this was going on with me. I haven't received anything. I gave my money, but I haven't gotten any products. I haven't even gotten a refund. I can't even get in touch with these people. Yeah, so now word is all out because she is drying out. But they never stop. They never stop scamming. They always got some new products coming out. This new product that came out, and somebody was so happy to get it because one person said, does this product smells good? Yeah. And then that person send their hard-earned money in the new investor. And what happens? Oh, months and months pass. You got my money, and I still ain't got no product. I done invested my money in you, and you haven't gave me anything, not even an email back.
The pattern continues until the Ponzi schemer stops getting newer investors, or these newer investors aren't large enough to sustain the demands of the older investors. This often happens during an economic downturn or if something goes awry in the fund. The result, when all is exposed, is that the entire scheme collapses.
And so that's what's happening. This scheme is collapsing, but they never stop. And it's up to you guys to realize what's going on. And I'm so glad I could have been one of those victims now. Oh, Lord, I could have been a victim. But let me tell y'all something. It's just rough out here in these streets when your own people try to scam you. But this right here, y'all remember this when this happened to me? Yeah. Yep. Yep. So you guys know, y'all remember when I went to a certain establishment in good faith with money too, to purchase products. So I'm so glad that happened to me as far as that money wise, because my little old friends would have thought that I was trying to scam them out of money. So I was able to return that money back to my elderly friend, but in the process be really embarrassed and I'm going to have to get me some mental health counseling behind this because it never goes away. It never goes away. I went in the store the other day and somebody recognized me. And I went to get this hair, and that product was in that hair store, and a young girl recognized me. And she told the owner of the store about what had happened. She played that tape to the owner of that store, and they said they was going to take those products off that shelf. I don't know whether they did or not, but I gotta walk around in town, and people remember me because how she cussed me out. And then sometimes they'll play the video to their friends while I'm standing up there. And it does something to me, you guys. I'm going to have to get me some mental health counseling. That's what I'm going to have to do to get through this. Now, y'all see me posting, trying to be happy, trying to go through this, but I'm very well affected about the way that girl talked to me because it never goes away. It's all on the internet. When I go to different stores, people recognize me. Then they go, and then somebody may be with them say, "No, I don't know it." Then they'll pull it out and play it right there in front of me or in the store, and people get to point at me. And but there's been other business owners that have called me and apologized to me and asked me to come down to their store, and they would give me free products, and I won't have to pay for anything. But yeah, this is what Love and Marriage Huntsville got these gangsters on their platform. Love and Marriage Huntsville got a bunch of gangsters, bunch of people that don't care about their community, criminals. Anyway, y'all beware of Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes, all of that. And you would think because they're your people and they look like you, that they will not, try to scam you like that. But yeah, they will scam you. Oh yeah, this white man. Let me just finish this. This white
Thus
man.
explains the story of Bernie Madoff. The feds estimated that Madoff must have swindled about $50 billion worth of money. How did he get so many clients? Well, it was primarily reputation based. He started giving out some good return that his clients referred him to their friends, and slowly he was able to build up a roster of very wealthy clients. By having this.
And see, that's how they get it. Y'all build these people up. Yeah, just build these people up. This is the truth about 4th of July. We were still slaves.
The irony of African Americans celebrating July 4th is evident. Even though it is called Independence Day, 20% of the population was enslaved. When these so-called freedom fighters signed the Declaration of Independence, they held hundreds of Hebrews captive in slavery, whom they also imported illegally from West Africa. The hypocrisy of this widely celebrated holiday in the United States is in its very name. July 4th is a celebration of kidnapping, transporting, buying, and selling human beings, separating families, torture, whippings, rapes, castrations, lynching, and enslavement. Hebrews should not be celebrating July 4th because it is a slap in the face to our ancestors who had to endure horrible treatment and vicious enslavers. We should be celebrating our resilient ancestors who fought for their freedom, like on Juneteenth. For more information on Juneteenth, be sure to check out our Juneteenth video. Despite the claim in the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal, about 500,000 Black men, women, and children were enslaved in the 13 colonies in 1776. In that same year, the Declaration, which led to the official creation of
This is Madison Saludo.
was formally adopted by the Continental Congress on July 4th, 2 days after its members voted to approve it. And during that time, slavery was legal in each of the 13 colonies, which is obvious since 27 of the 56 white male property owners who signed the Declaration of Independence enslaved Black people by holding them, shipping them, or investing in their forced labor.
By the way, Jefferson, who drafted, some say plagiarized, the Declaration of Independence from the Iroquois people, held 175 black human beings in bondage in 1776. He increased that number to 267 by 1822. He also engaged in pedophilic relationship with an enslaved girl named Sally Hemings. Also, the American flag wasn't even designed by the American government, or Betsy Ross, or Mary Pickersgill. It was designed by 13-year-old Grace Fisher, Pickersgill's kidnapped indentured servant / slave. Such racist duplicity is what compelled Frederick Douglass in 1852 to give a speech entitled "The Meaning of July 4th for the Negro." In that unmasking and explosive elocution, he thundered, what to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, the day that reveals to him more than all the other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is sham, your boasted liberty an unholy license, your national greatness swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery, fraud, deception, and hypocrisy. A thin veil to cover up the crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on earth guilty of the practices more shocking and bloodier than there are of the white people of the United States.
Now that you know the latest meaning of July 4th, you're no longer ignorant. Therefore, if you still choose to reject blackness and embrace whiteness on July 4th, you've moved on from being an ignoramus to being a traitor. Celebrating an historically oppressive holiday is close to giving them aid and comfort at your own expense. Stop celebrating white supremacy / white savagery and celebrating black self-respect, black revelation. Praise Yah.
You don't y'all come here and tell me no happy 4th of July now. Don't say that to me. What to the slave is 4th of July, you guys? What does that mean? Even after you find out the truth, y'all know we were still slaves, but you still want to celebrate the murder of our people. What to the slave is the 4th of July?
What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty an unholy license, your national greatness swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brash-fronted impudence, your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings with all your religious parade and solemnity are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of the United States at this very hour. Go where you may, search where you will, roam through all the monarchies and despotisms of the old world, travel through South America, search out every abuse, and when you have found the last, lay your facts by the side of the everyday practices of this nation, and you will say with me, for revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy, America reigns without rival.
So what to the slave is 4th of July?
Friendly indicator.
I'm talking to all of you. Don't let me ever hear y'all say happy 4th of July to your children, to nobody. Tell your kids the truth, y'all. Empower your children. Empower yourself, your neighbors, your friends. I'm trash, you guys. I'm so proud of him. I didn't know. You know how little kids be listening at you singing while you cleaning up. I used to sing this song around him all the time. Now now this boy singing that song. I mean, he handling it. Helped me push my grandson through trash. He's in the military now, y'all.
This is Trez singing Coming From Where I'm Coming From by Anthony Hamilton. Up and coming artist.
Come on, baby.
Sitting here, guess I didn't make them. Got time, a story to tell. Started when I was 9 years old. Woke up and daddy was home. I started hustling, they couldn't tell me nothing. Running in the hood, trying to be somebody. My soul's all empty. I was searching for something. Tried to be good. Tried to keep from trouble. Living too fast. Trying to make good on the hustle. Sometimes you get low. Sometimes it got hard. Sometimes you gotta walk to work, yeah. Sometimes you gotta do a little dirt. Hey, wasn't really looking as I found it. 5'3", light brown skin, coming from the university. My style looking kind of lovely. Didn't know she had much game. Down the ride out, didn't take the train. Even took her to a poker game. Top notch, fried chicken and sushi. Tried to be good. I tried to treat you like a lady. Tried to be a friend. Turns out that you were shady. Sometimes you get lonely. Some things are what you seem to be. Sometimes you get a little angry. Oh, sometimes you forget me. Well, try to be good. Oh, there's nothing but to love somebody. Didn't want to die young. Steady hustling, trying to beat my family. I'm scared to have kids and do like that again. Cause I'm so scared of family. Sometimes it get hard. Sometimes you gotta know. Sometimes you gotta cry a little bit louder. Oh, sometimes you gotta fight the pain. Sometimes you gotta walk alone. Sometimes you gotta worry.
Let's get a shout out for Trez.